What sets you apart from your competition? Why should I hire you? Why should I hire you at the fee that you're charging? Or are you willing to negotiate your fee? Other real estate agents are offering to work for 3, 4, 5%. Why should I hire you at 6%? What are you going to do different than the competition is going to do? Do you know the answers to these questions? If you don't know the answers to these questions, then it's going to be impossible for you to convey your value to your customers. If you feel that you're not worth the fee that you're charging, or if you find yourself saying things like, why would a for sale by owner hire me in this market when homes are selling quickly with multiple offers? They don't need my help. Then are you going to call for sale by owners? No, you're not. Are you going to have a conversation with them in reference to why they should hire you? Could a for sale by owner put their home on the MLS in a flat fee listing and accomplish the same thing for half the money if they were to list their home with a professional real estate agent? If you're answering that question, yes, then we've got to start with helping you see your value. What makes you different? Now, did some research on this morning. I just want to share some of the things that I read with you, and then we're going to circle back to how does this apply to you as a real estate agent. But let's start with this. The perception of value creates a feeling of satisfaction. If you would write that down, that would be awesome. Okay. The perception of value creates a feeling of satisfaction. When a business creates value for its clients or customers, its goal most often is that the client or customer will be satisfied. Please write that down. And I want you to ask yourself a question: what's wrong with that sentence? Because there's a whole lot wrong with that. Unfortunately, the goal of having satisfied customers is the worst kind of trap, one that is particularly devastating because most businesses set it, bait it, and charge into it willingly. Okay, so here's the next question for you. For satisfying every customer during the month of June, what's the reward? What reward does a business receive for satisfying all of your customers in the month of June? What reward do you receive for satisfying those customers? The answer is all salaries are paid, occasionally with bonuses. In addition, there is an acknowledgement in the community that this business is one of the area's best. Okay, so let's try it again. For satisfying every customer during the month of June, what reward does a business receive? The actual answer is they get to do it again in July. Now, customer satisfaction is the lowest bar you can possibly hit and stay in business. Please write that down. Customer satisfaction is the lowest bar I can possibly hit and stay in business. So if you haven't figured it out yet, customer satisfaction is not what we're aiming for. That's what everybody else is aiming for. That's what your competition is aiming for. And my goal today is to help you get to a place where you are competing at a level where your competition doesn't even know there's a game being played. All right, here's the next question. How does the typical consumer view the concept of customer satisfaction? The answer is they don't really think about it. I suppose I have a bit more appreciation for the business that pay attention to that kind of thing. So here's the question again. Deep in his or her subconscious, how does the typical customer really view the concept of customer satisfaction as it relates to them? Here's the answer. I had better be satisfied. I paid for it. That's how they view satisfaction. So when you are meeting their needs, when you are delivering a satisfactory result, your target is satisfaction and you hit it, the customer's reaction to that is, well, it's what you're supposed to do. I'm not impressed. That's what I paid you for. By the way, you're paid too much, but I guess that's what it takes. And at least you met my goals. So fine. All right, so know this, assuming this answer reflects a common feeling, a business focused on customer satisfaction as the ultimate goal is competing for its life in a way its leaders believe is an advantage over competitors. If you are a business owner competing with your rivals and you believe customer satisfaction is your secret advantage over them, you are mistaken, because they are competing against you in the same manner. So you've got all of these different businesses that are competing for the same business, and all of these businesses have the same goal, and that goal is customer satisfaction. What makes you different? Nothing does. You're competing for customer satisfaction. Well, duh, so is everybody else. Now, I want you to think, your product is the same, your prices are virtually the same. Real estate agents, listen to me. You are listing homes for sale, you are selling their home. That is the job that you are being paid for. Now, they meet with another real estate agent. That agent's focus is to get their home on the market and to sell it at the price that the seller wants. Their focus is the same thing as yours. So what makes you different? If customer satisfaction is what you are depending upon to be the difference maker, if that's how you have decided to separate your business from the pack, in reality, you have only one chance of that happening. As you work to satisfy your customers, you can only hope your competitors fail to satisfy theirs. So your only competitive advantage, if customer satisfaction is your goal, is that your competitors would fail at meeting the customer's needs. Customer satisfaction is the lowest bar you can possibly hit and still stay in business. Write that down. Customer satisfaction is the lowest bar you can possibly hit and still stay in business. To have a shot at results that seem impossible to most, you must learn to compete in a way that your competitors do not even know there's a game being played. So how likely is it in reality that I might actually be able to compete with some kind of an advantage that my business rivals don't know about? How likely is that? How likely is that that you and I as real estate agents would be able to compete in a way that our competition doesn't even know that there's a game being played? It's a good question. It's a question that you should spend some time on researching, thinking about in order to set yourself apart from the competition. Why should I hire you? Why should I hire you at a higher rate when there's other real estate agents who are willing to work for less? Why are you worth more? Why shouldn't I just list the property myself on the MLS for a flat fee? I don't need you. Have you ever paid more for something than you had to? To be clear, even though you were aware the product or service could have been purchased at a lower price somewhere else, you elected to buy it at a higher price. Have you ever made a purchase and in doing so driven farther or gone to more trouble than was absolutely necessary? Have you ever paid more for something while going to more trouble to get it? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Of course, you aren't remotely alone. It would be safe bet that almost all of us answer the questions just as you did. On the surface, games are contested over price and product. So let's put that in real estate terms. On the surface, the game that you are playing is contested on price and service. We're all providing the same service. So price becomes the competing conversation. And if you're going to take the easy way out, then you're just going to reduce your price. It would be simple to say, okay, I'm going to earn real estate business by becoming a discount broker. I'm going to charge 4%. That's it. That's my strategy. And that's how I'm going to beat my competition. Fine. You're still only going to have satisfied customers. You're not going to have customers at the end of the transaction who feel that you've done something extraordinary. You're not going to have advocates. You're not going to have people who would refer you to their friends and family members because you satisfied their expectations. Remember, they expected you to work for less. All you did was meet those expectations. You haven't wowed them. You haven't created raving fans. You're not different than your competition. You're just cheaper. On the surface, games are contested over price and product, but that's on the surface. A business or a team, a church, a city, a family, a state, and so on, competing from the bottom of the pool rather than treading water on the top, can acquire virtually an unbeatable edge. So here's what we're looking for. We're looking for that unbeatable edge. What can you do that would create an opportunity for you to have an unbeatable edge when you're competing for a listing or you're competing for the opportunity to work with a buyer? There remains a seldom seen, supremely compelling inside track the potential customer will always take if given a chance. This reality experience, but completely overpowering advantage, is called the obvious greater value, OGV, obvious greater value. Don't just write it down and skim over it. Break it down word by word. Obvious. First of all, obvious means that everybody sees it. It's impossible to miss. It's obvious. Greater. The value that you are providing is greater than anyone else in your industry, any other real estate agent in your market. The value that you are providing is greater than anybody else. It's obvious, it's greater, and it's value. While aware of the importance of what they refer to as their customer service, your competitors remain blind to the overwhelming power wielded by what they refer to as your customer service. The obvious greater value provided by you and those on your team become a distinct and unequaled brand when every part of your business is delivered in a package of genuine care, personal concern, and honest connection. I'm going to repeat it because I want you to write it down. The obvious greater value provided by you and those on your team become a distinct and unequal brand. Means nobody else is providing the value that you do. You're playing in a game where your competitors don't even realize that a game is being played. When every part of your business, think about that. And business is a system. Write that down. Systems are a checklist. Write that down. When you take a new listing, what's your system? When you go on a listing appointment, what's your system to service that seller once the listing goes active in the MLS? What's your system? What are you doing that is above satisfying their needs, above satisfied, that is delivering a value, an obvious value that can't be missed? I'm going to tell you the answer is really simple. I'll tell you in just a moment. The obvious greater value provided by you and those on your team become a distinct and unequal brand when every part of your business is delivered in a package of genuine care, personal concern, and honest connection. All right. The Dietz team, when we were in production, the motto of our team was people helping people. And we chose that because I wanted everybody on our team to understand at the basic level, we are people helping people. That's what we do. That's who we are. Our job is to get in a personal relationship with our customers, our buyers, our sellers, to convey that we care about them. They can trust us. We know what we're doing. Something as simple as learning people's names and using their names. Think about it. Go to a restaurant, somebody comes up to the table and says, "Hi, Lonnie, it's good to see you again." Oh my gosh. They remembered my name. I must be important. Versus you're standing in line at the bank and the teller is looking down at whatever she's working on, and the customer in front of you is done and she hollers next. Now, I don't know of anybody on the planet who has the name Next. Any of you? Next. What if that teller looked up and said, "Oh, Lonnie, good to see you again. How can I help you?" Seems like a minor deal, but it is absolutely not. I drove out of my way and paid more money than I should have to go to the same dry cleaner for 8 years, because within the very second time I was there, the person who greeted me knew my name, knew Monica's name, asked how Monica was doing, got a conversation with me. She didn't say next. How many slacks do you have today? How many shirts do you have today? It was, "John, it's great to see you again. How can I help you?" When you're talking to somebody on the phone, the moment you hear their name, use their name. If somebody calls you and says, "Hey, this is Natalie, and I'm calling in reference to 123 Main Street," your response should be, "Hi, Natalie, my name is blank. I am so glad that you called. It is nice to meet you." How simple is that? Now, most people don't do that. Learn people's names. Learn their family names. As a team leader with an office of 334 agents, one of my biggest challenges was learning the name of everybody in that office. If somebody walked in the door, I better know who they are. I'm providing a service. I have customers. As a team leader, when I was a team leader of an office with 334 agents, those agents were my customers. Now, my job was not to deliver a deliver a satisfactory service. It was not to be okay, right? You know, the manager of the restaurant comes by and says, "Is everything okay?" "Yeah, everything's okay." "I can't believe it. Can't wait to tell all my friends and family members about this okay restaurant." It was my job to know their name, not only know their name, but know their spouse's name, their significant other's name, their kids' names, to know them at a personal level. We are people helping people. I am not simply a real estate agent that's here to sell your home. I am not simply a real estate agent that is here to help you buy a home. I am here as your partner in order to work with you, in order to exceed your expectations. Whatever your expectations are, my job is to exceed those, double, triple, to provide wow service. By the end of the real estate transaction, you and I are friends. We're not just friends for the transaction, we're friends forever. So when we're sitting at the closing table and everybody is congratulating everybody, and your customer is saying, "Thank you for a job well done," and they're saying goodbye, "Oh no, I'm adopting you for life. You are part of the Dietz team now. We are people helping people, and just because real estate, your home sold and it closed, it doesn't mean we're going to stop helping you. We're still here to help. We're going to continue to call and check in on you." How many of you have ever bought a car and had the salesperson call you on a regular basis to see how the car was doing? Never for me. And I've told every single person that I've ever bought a car from, "Stay in touch with me and I'll be back. Stay in touch with me and I'll refer my friends and family members." And how many of them do you think did? None. The secret here is so simple. It's right in front of your eyes and you're not seeing it. When you exceed their expectations, when you provide wow service, you're not just meeting their needs. The price doesn't matter anymore. Your fee doesn't matter anymore. Price only matters in the absence of value. If somebody is fighting for your commission, it simply means one thing: you haven't proven value. That for sale by owner that could sell their home without your help should still hire you. And you should be able to show them why it would be in their best advantage to hire you versus selling the property on their own. That homeowner that believes that hiring the real estate agent who charges the lowest fee is the right strategy in order to save money is basing their decision on the wrong thing. They're basing their decision on who has the lowest fee. What they should be basing their decision on is who's going to give me the opportunity to sell my home in a time period that allows me to meet my goals, get where I want to go, get there by the time that I want to go, and listen to this, is going to give me the opportunity to net the most amount of money. Commission doesn't matter. That's that seller who's saying, I want you to discount their fee. They're not real, they don't even care about what your fee is. What they care about is netting the most amount of money. So change their base. Move them from basing their decision on how much commission do you charge to what are you going to do in order to guarantee that I'm going to net the most amount of money? Show me, don't tell me, show me what you're going to do in order to help me net the most amount of money. When you do that, obvious value. All right, talk to me.